What's up guys, my name's Nick.
My name's Nathan.
And this is Full Throttle Cars. Today is our second video up here at the IX Center in Cleveland for the Cleveland Auto Show, so let's jump right into it. Alright guys, right here is the all-new Acura NSX Type S, the last run of the Acura NSX. This is a really cool color here in this blue with all this carbon fiber accents. This is number 289 out of the 350 they are making. Just check this thing out, take a little walk around. You've got big red brake calipers down below. Again, this is a V6 hybrid, twin turbo V6 hybrid, one of my favorite supercars of all time. You got the Type S down there in the side of the little quarter panel down there. Now this is actually only the second one of these I've seen. I saw a gray one at Cars and Coffee earlier in this year, or actually back in summer 2022. That one was gray. I don't remember the number of it, but again, this is 289 out of 350. Again, you can take a look in the engine up here. Twin turbo V6 with hybrid all-wheel drive power. You got the carbon fiber wing down here, and a big carbon fiber diffuser down here as well. I mean, check this thing out. Very cool. Again, this is the Type S, higher horsepower, higher performance oriented, more performance stuff than the standard NSX, the last run of the NSX. So just some quick figures on the Type S: 600 horsepower and under 3 seconds 0 to 60 time. More power than the standard NSX. Again, the last hurrah for the NSX. One of my favorite cars of all time. Alright guys, so right here we've got the new Acura TLX Type S. This has 355 horsepower out of a turbo V6. We'll take a look under the hood in a minute, but it's competitors to stuff like the BMW M340i, as well as something like the Audi S3, S4, S5, kind of in that range. Again, it has a little bit less power than the BMW, however, it still has the same all-wheel drive system, still pretty quick, and hopefully long-term will be more reliable. Alright guys, so check out these wheels. This is actually the high-performance wheel and tire combo that you can get on this car. You got the Pirellis on here with some really cool design wheels, I think. You got the Brembo brake calipers out front. Alright guys, so taking a look at the back here, you've got a nice black spoiler back here. I think it looks good, a good contrast to the body color. You can see here, this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. All of the Type S's come in all-wheel drive. Down here you also just saw big dual exhaust pipes on either side, so a quad exhaust in total. I think it looks really good, a very iconic look, going back to the 2008 Type S as well. Now again, this being all-wheel drive is much better in all-weather situations. A big deal for me where I live, so I'd love to own one of these someday and go next to the 2008. Up front we've got the turbocharged V6 engine putting out 355 horsepower. You can come check this out. You can see the turbo right here in the front. Pretty good sized turbo, not too huge, doesn't put out that much power compared to something like the M340i. Has about 30 more horsepower than this, but this is also all-wheel drive like the M340i, and hopefully, knock on wood, should be more reliable down the line. Alright guys, so we're sitting inside the TLX Type S. My first time being in one of these. Now this is a serious contender for a replacement down the future for my current 2008 TL Type S, or maybe even just an addition to the garage, so I can have the TLX Type S next to the TL Type S. So first thoughts in here, I really do like the steering wheel. You got the flat bottom Type S sporty style steering wheel. Pretty nice paddle shifters back here as well. Nice leather material on the door sill, some aluminum or metal-like trim here on the sides.
Alright, yeah, so sitting here in the passenger seat, it does feel pretty nice, pretty comfortable seat. There's all this cool red stitching with the leather material right here. And then we do have plenty of buttons right here, something that I've mentioned before I really do enjoy whenever car manufacturers, especially whenever it's a new vehicle, has plenty of buttons. I just always feel like it's way safer to use those buttons. Now, there is a big screen right there, but unfortunately, it looks like you have to use a trackpad rather than just a touch screen. So it's a trackpad and it looks like it clicks, and there are a couple little specialized buttons there. A couple more things I want to mention about this is that it does have heated and ventilated seats right here to keep you comfy. And then one more thing is that it has a wireless charger right here, right behind the trackpad that I mentioned.
Alright guys, so I'm jumping into the Integra A-Spec for the first time. If you want to see the Windows sticker, you can see the options right here. This one's spec'd to about $35,000. It actually gets 32 miles per gallon, which is pretty darn good. We'll jump right onto the inside here and I'll show you around. Alright, so we're inside the Integra now. First time inside the Integra. I do like this interior. It's very similar to the new Honda Civic. It's especially with these vents. I do really like these vents though. I feel like this is going to have a pretty, almost not necessarily timeless look, but it's not going to go outdated very quickly, I would say. I really do like the interior styling of this. Maybe the screen would get dated a little bit, but these vent styles with this little thing in the middle, I think looks really cool. So this one is equipped with the CVT. You can see here the CVT automatic. You do have a sport mode though, and this is basically the same powertrain as the Civic Si, I believe, right around 200 horsepower. You do have paddle shifters up here, which are interesting in a CVT, meaning you don't really have an actual set of gears to go in. I believe what this will actually do, instead of changing a gear, will change the ratio of the CVT to deliver more power at the certain RPM wherever you're trying to be. I don't really know all the ins and outs of how a CVT works, but it's not like your traditional automatic. So here's the front of the Acura Integra. We've actually got Integra here in the front bumper, which is actually kind of an interesting feature that you don't see on a lot of cars. But I think this is pretty well styled. People don't like that it's a four-door, but that's the modern car. Really, you don't have that many coupes being sold as they were in the early 2000s, late 90s, when the most popular form of the Integra was out.
I'm sitting in the Lexus RC F right now. Just first impressions, it's a pretty snug seat, just kind of wrap around you, much like Nick's car. Also, this is a pretty cool steering wheel, much like the TLX. Pretty girthy, got nice paddle shifters here. One thing I will complain about, yet again, is a trackpad. Why on earth would I have a trackpad in a car that, as shown, is $80,000? Alright, so popping the hood here on the RCF, we have a 5-liter V8 that puts out 472 horsepower from a naturally aspirated engine. I will say this is a very well presented under the hood engine right here. A lot of cars nowadays, they just cover everything up with plastic. And while there is plastic here, you do see this, and then you also see the intake manifold. That just looks really, really cool.
Alright guys, here's just a quick view from the outside of the RCF. One of the best looking cars Lexus makes at the moment. Some pretty cool wheel design here with a orange brake caliper up here. We got the slotted rotors as well. Very performance car looking. And the back end also has some really cool design features that we'll take a look at here in a moment. This car has a pretty cool back end too. You can see this wing pops out there, the little wing spoiler. You've also got staggered quad exhaust here. Very iconic of the Lexus F series models. Alright guys, so check this out. We've got the all-new Ford Mustang. I believe this is the Dark Horse, if I'm not mistaken. I do not know the exact power figures on this new one, but check out these big blue Brembo brakes down here. This thing looks really, really good. We'll take you on a look at the interior as well. Check out the front grille right here. Just different styling. You got two big kind of side intakes there almost. A big grille in the front, all blacked out emblems. Really cool headlight design as well. You got the kind of 3 dashes there, kind of reminiscent of the previous tail lights on the Mustangs. Alright, so something really interesting about this, Ford just released this. This is the new generation Mustang. It's still coming with a V8. Chevy and Dodge are beginning to phase out all their V8 muscle cars, leaving really no one to compete with Ford in the Mustang. The Mustang's been running for so long, much longer continuously than either the Camaro or the Challenger. Just a really great car here, it looks like, from Ford. Very well styled. Again, big V8 power. I'll put the numbers on the screen if I can find them. Unfortunately, I don't know them right now.
Alright, so checking it out, I can't really get up on this stage right now, unfortunately, but I can kind of zoom into the interior where it really looks like they did modernize the interior of the Mustang. So you can see there is still the Mustang symbol on the steering wheel, unlike other places on the vehicle where it usually is. But they have a really big screen, like all digital gauges right up front, and then it merges straight into the infotainment center right there. Just looks really cool. Also, you have big old brakes, brake calipers on the rear wheels. That's pretty surprising. Just looks like a really mean, really cool car. Alright, so right behind me and beside me you have a couple Mustang Shelby GTH. So these were Mustangs specifically made for Hertz, the car rental company. You can see all of the styling all over. You've got those yellow stripes. You can look inside and see the headrest. You have GTH right there. These were made specifically for the Hertz rental company.
Down here you can see some of these specs of this car. If you want to, you can pause on the screen. Only 140 of these were produced. Right here, guys, we have kind of more of a modern class. We got the Mitsubishi Evo 9, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9. This is actually right-hand drive, imported from Japan. You can see kind of on the interior there a little bit. Very basic car, off-road rally car built for the road. You got the Brembos, you can see here in the back. Pretty cool wheel design as well, and of course the big wing in the back. Here's just a front shot of the Evo 9 if you wanted to check that out. You've also got Recaro sport seats in there if that will focus.
Alright, so down here with all of the classics, we have a Dodge Viper. Specifically, it's one of the first Dodge Vipers that they made. It was the 169th out of the first 196 that were produced.
Right beside this Viper, we've got a nice Corvette over here. I believe, I want to say 1970, 1968, somewhere in there. Would you rather have that Corvette right there or this first year Viper? We've got a nice 1970 Corvette convertible right here, as well as an SS Camaro convertible. We're just now getting down here to some of the classic cars before we end off this video. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for our last video here at the auto show. We did start a second channel. If you're interested in more review type videos, we are going to leave that link down below in the description. So with that said, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye guys.